Hello and welcome. So there's a few ways that you could be joining us today through But.God period or preventing panic, pursuing peace, or school inside a suitcase, whatever it is. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Erica Borman and I'm the co-founder of But.God period along with Joni Stanchfield, my biological mom. And we specifically designed this and our ministry to help you gain control, vanquish mommy guilt, shatter shame, and regret nothing. So we asked our readers what you guys struggled with the most, and hands down, the biggest response was time slipping through your fingers. And we totally get it. That's why we've designed this Manage Your Time Like a Boss course. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to get started. So this is the Manage Your Time Like a Boss course, a proven technique to take control of your schedule and take back your life. You are in the right place if you have more tasks on your to-do list than hours in your day. A small disruption in your schedule sends you reeling. Your friends and family are getting the shaft. You feel like you're constantly putting out fires. You feel like your schedule controls you instead of the other way around. Well, in this course, you are going to learn how to give yourself grace, how to create margin in your life so that you can handle the emergencies and all those extras that pop up. You're going to learn how to live for the white space and still get everything done. And you're also going to learn how to prioritize rightly and implement purposeful procrastination. And that is totally a thing. Don't let procrastination fool you. You can do it, and you can do it wisely. And then you're also going to learn a foolproof system to organize your life. Okay, so what does live your stripes mean? Well, just like snowflakes and fingerprints, apparently no two zebra pattern stripes are the same. So when you stop making excuses and you serve or work using your strengths and your passions and then the abilities that God gave you, that's when you kind of start to live your stripes. So when you push past that uncomfortability and you do what you know to be right, such as, learning how to prioritize tasks or drilling down and doing the hard work of intentional living, well, when you do that in a way that you're uniquely equipped, and maybe also when you start using the word no and start living life really intentionally, that's when you are living your stripes. So the idea is that you were created a certain way. And so we have to kind of stop comparing ourselves and looking at others thinking, oh man, I wish I could, or I bet so-and-so doesn't, or whatever the case is. You got to learn to give yourself grace. So your season and your stage of life and your personality and your strengths, they're so different from your friends. And you know that, right? And they're different from family members, friends, even the people within your own home. There's no one cookie cutter Christian or mom or woman. So we got to stop comparing. We have to live our stripes, not someone else's. Okay, so that's kind of the first thing. So we need to dive right in and we need to talk about prioritization. So the importance of prioritization is being able to have a direction and a filter by which to funnel requests for your time. You've got to realize that nobody is going to respect your time if you don't. And guys, this is so important. Your schedule, it didn't get crazy in one day. It's been a series of small choices that you've made where you've said yes to one thing, but in saying yes, you've also said no to something else. So if you're feeling unfulfilled and just a little bit depressed because your family life isn't where you'd like it to be, or your home or friendships are falling by the wayside, it's kind of because you've made small choices to prioritize things that really should not be on your list. So what we're going to do, I'm going to help you prioritize rightly. Your yearly goals aren't just fun exercises. I mean, let's be real. Goal setting, I don't really find goal setting super fun in general anyway. I really hate it. But your goals and your priorities, those are going to be the lens through which you look at your time and what you do on a yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily basis. So again, that's going to be the lens or the filter which you look at your time and what you do yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. When you're secure in your goals and your priorities, your schedule is going to naturally reflect them. And you're no longer going to be putting out fires. You are actually going to be living with purpose and with clarity. So this is how you start to prioritize rightly. What are the hats and responsibilities you wear? List them out. So for me, I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a direct sales consultant, and I'm an author. You should not have any more really than about 5 at a time. So how do you determine your priorities? Well, you're going to list the roles that you play or the hats that you wear, the positions that you fill. Then you're going to put some adjectives to it. So how would you like to be described in each one of those roles? Just like 1 or 2 words. So this doesn't have to be reality. This can be a complete farce, but it has to be specific for this exercise. So this is what I've determined my priorities were at the beginning of the year. This is how I wanted to behave. This is kind of how I wanted to be looked at. So there are healthy Christian in body and spirit, attentive and servant-minded wife who's able to say she's sorry, intentional mother, faithful and creative blogger, courageous and inspiring Norwex consultant. So go ahead and write yours out and see what you come up with. And please let us know. Feel free to email us at But.God@gmail.com. We love getting responses from people in how they want to view themselves and what their priorities are. And we have something that is actually going to help you with this. So we provided this really helpful chart for you to run through this exercise on your own. And I'm going to provide a link to this chart at the end. So stick with us and I will give you all of this in just a little bit. Okay, so we've done that. We've written down our hats, responsibilities, and what does the best us look like. We've done that. Now we're going to create an affirmation statement. So this incorporates all of your goals and your responsibilities and puts them in the positive here and now. So you can look at everything someone asks you to do, or anytime someone asks you to do something, or every time you get a fabulous idea to implement, you can see, okay, is this idea or is this request for my time really going to further my goals or further my quest to be the best me in all the hats that I wear? If yes, then for sure, put it on your calendar. But if no, it's a no. So I do this at the beginning of every year. How do I want this year to go? What kind of person do I want to be? So decide what the best you looks like in each of your roles and responsibilities. What does the best you as a mom or friend or wife look like? What does the best you as an employee look like? Just like with the adjectives that you use to describe yourself in the last exercise, this isn't going to be reality, but what you would like it to be. So we are kind of expanding on that priority order list. You've listed 1 or 2 adjectives to describe yourself. Now we're going to flesh that out and visualize what that actually looks like. And this is so crucial, so please do not skip this step. We have a whole worksheet to help you create your affirmation statement. So sit for a few days on this. But once you nail it down exactly how you want to be in this affirmation statement, you're going to be able to evaluate every single request for your time through that statement. It's going to start to be very easy, actually, to prioritize rightly. So I'm just going to show you mine, okay? This is mine. You are an intentional person who's all in whatever she does. You never back down from a challenge and meet it with excellence and perseverance. You're loyal, diligent, and reliable. You are invaluable to your family. You make your home a peaceful, safe haven from the harsh reality of culture and chemicals. You create an environment where your friends and family feel refreshed and ready to conquer the world when they leave. Your children call you blessed, as you do not exasperate them, but train them in the Lord. You take seriously that you are training the next generation of Christ followers, and as a result, your children are wise and discerning. You discipline well, bringing them back to appropriate Bible verses. You trust that God will fill in the gaps. Your husband has full confidence and trust in you. You show submission and respect to him in front of your children and others. His heart rests securely in you as you are trustworthy. You lead your team by example. You inspire and truly believe in the potential of each member. You equip them so they can achieve their dreams, Norwex or otherwise. You support and encourage and challenge them to set big, scary goals and then help them go after them. You are a rock star consultant who helps hostesses max out their rewards. You teach customers how to set their homes up in the best way possible to establish a peaceful, chemical-free home. You are courageous and not afraid to present the hosting or business opportunities. You believe everyone would benefit from Norwex, and you exude that confidence and trust and respect in the product. You are a faithful blogger who helps other women succeed in life. You come alongside your reader and give her the tools she needs to be the best wife, mom, and Christian she can be. You create high-quality, useful products that encourage her in her daily walk. She can't wait to read your blog, listen to your podcast, and receive your newsletter every week. You are a sought-after author and speaker. Your words encourage and ignite a passion for the Lord. You are clear, humorous, poignant, and thought-provoking. Your message is a worthy message. It is one that helps women thrive in their stage of life instead of merely surviving. You want women to live their potential, and your words inspire them to do so. Other women catch your vision. If moms could get right with the Lord, stop being so busy, and start praying fervently for their households, living their stripes intentionally, and being fully alive, the eternity of a whole generation could be changed. Okay, guys, this right here is a whole worksheet that's going to lead you through creating an affirmation statement. What I just read back here and here, this didn't take 2 seconds to whip up. I actually went through this worksheet in order to be able to figure out what my affirmation statement would be. So we list out questions for you to answer so that you can kind of just flesh that out. What does it look like to be the kind of person that you mentioned in your priority order guide? Okay. Now, the other thing about this that's so important is that you really need to put in your mind that this, again, is not necessarily reality as it is right now. So what you want to do is you want to read your affirmation statement at least weekly, if not daily. And eventually, it's basically like you're creating this self-fulfilling prophecy. You're telling yourself one thing that's very positive, and you are basically speaking a blessing over your life and over your family and over your business or whatever it is in your affirmation statement that you're talking about. And that actually has a huge benefit in your day-to-day living. Okay, this is a slide that's taken from our signature course, Becoming a Bible Study Boss, where I tell you how to add an hour to your day today. But I wanted to show you how my priorities play out each month. So I'm going to give you all these slides at the end, so don't worry about screenshotting them at all, because I know this is going to be kind of a lot. But every month, I look at my affirmation statement and my priority order list. Then I plan out a few goals for each hat that I wear. So these can consist of projects, things I want to work on, pressing items that need my attention, whatever it is. I figure out how I want to live in order to become what I actually claim in my affirmation statement. So I'll look at this particular spread and I'll fill in my hats or roles like mom, wife, Christian, consultant, blogger, etc. Then I write down my goals for that month. So I might write down, mom, send kids off in the morning without tears. Yeah, I want to do a devotional each morning, but sometimes that's just not feasible. So I started sending them off in confidence and not crying. So part of being an intentional mother is being intentional with the limited morning time that I have with them. I can choose to be harried, and we all can leave in stress, or I can choose to get up earlier, gather my wits about me so that I can be calm and collected in the morning. It's no small feat, I assure you. So this is why my bar is low, just no tears. All right, wife, weekly dates and prayer for Todd's work. I know right now is kind of a busy season for my husband. Maybe your husband has busy seasons too, but I begin to feel like I'm all alone sometimes when he's really busy at work. Thankfully, it's not for long amounts of time, but I wanted to be an attentive wife this year, and the best way that I can do that is to be in serious prayer. And I feel connected to my husband when I'm doing that. And I also hear from God as to how to minister to him during that prayer. Okay, blogger. Create, manage your time like a boss course. Yay, that's this. So I've done that. Here's that course. I completed it the last day of the month. Phew. All right, consultant. I want to prepare a fabulous auction basket for the school this month. And I have listed on there the major goal, and then what I would do later is just go through and kind of write down specific action steps as to how I would exactly do that. All right, friend, go out to dinner with one friend. And this is one friend per month. I really do not have time for more than that. So I have to be really discerning, and it kind of stinks to have to be like that, but that's just the season that I'm in, and that's what I have to do. I have to make really hard choices. And I funnel every activity that pops up every month through these monthly goals and my yearly affirmation statement. This is how you live your life on purpose and you stop putting out fires. The fires that you rush into and save can be a huge source of pride for you. When you check yourself and you look at what you're doing and why you're doing it on any given day, if it's running around like a chicken with your head cut off and not furthering your goals or furthering your priorities, it really needs to go. It's not fueling your productivity or your quest to live a life of intention. It's only fueling your pride. And I don't mean to be harsh. I mean, I've totally been there. I've been the hero in situations. I've been that go-to girl. I've been the get her done person, and I've been the rescuer. And I'm telling you, those fires are in someone else's fire pit. You desperately need to just tend to your own. So we've looked at these. Now we need to learn to say no graciously. It is a tough thing to say no, and it hurts because, I mean, we feel like failures, right? So-and-so can handle it all. Why can't I? Why do I need to rest in the middle of the day? I'm such a slacker. I really should do this and that. I'll be looked upon as selfish or irresponsible. I'll cause conflict. I'll let people down. Okay, guys, the world will not stop if you say no. So I'm going to help you say no gracefully. All right. So how to say no. And I'm taking most of this from the Huffington Post. They actually had an article about this. So say no right away. Don't leave room for wiggle room. When you hesitate, people act like sharks smelling blood in the water. If you don't have space, just be honest. So next, acknowledge interest, but be honest about your restraints. So you could say something like, this doesn't sound like something that may be for me, and I've just committed to 3 other priorities. No, I'm sorry. This is what you say. That's funny. You could say, this does sound like something that may be for me, and I've just committed to 3 other priorities right now. Will you come back in however many days or weeks and give me another chance to consider this opportunity with you? Okay, so this works well because it acknowledges your interest and it also keeps you from taking on more than you can complete. All right, thank them. So you could say something like, oh, I wish I could, but it's just not possible right now. Thank you for thinking of me. So your no is based on the timing, and thanking the requester, that really, really helps, but you have to be sincere. Another variation could be, thanks for thinking of me, but I don't think so right now. Or, I hate saying no to you, but I really must this time. Don't overshare your why. Okay, so you could say something like, this year my priorities are very few but focused. I won't be able to squeeze this one in. Or, what a wonderful invitation, but I'm just too stretched to accept it. Remember, you don't have to share your priorities with the other person, and that's super key. Don't overshare. Just state the facts and move on. They don't have time to listen to your lengthy explanation, and you, frankly, do not have time to give it. Okay, this is a special bonus that we're giving you. It's how to create a word of the year. So a word of the year is going to further help you in staying true to your priorities. And again, anything that vies for your attention or time can also be filtered through this word. So a few years ago, it was Sabbath for us, and we really focused on rest that year. Rest from the busyness of life and rest for our souls. We've also had recovery. So after a really intense year with many deaths that we were, of people that were close to us, job switch, moving, we just kind of really realized that we need to heal as a family and heal our relationships with each other and the outside world. So we focused on healing and restoration that year. Currently, my word is release. And I'm trying to release my tight grip of control on maybe 7 or 8 different areas in my life, kind of like prayer. I want to release my prayers and have a vibrant prayer life. I want to release my tears. I'm kind of a buck up sort of person. I'd like to be a little more compassionate. And my story. And I'm adopted and I have I have a really cool God story that I don't share very often because it's a little uncomfortable for me. But I'm trying to release that this year because I really feel like the Lord is calling me to do that. And you can actually read all about that in the book that I just published, Release, and you can totally find that on Amazon. Just, type in the search Release and Erica Borman, Berman, I married a Dutchman. And it's less than $10, so you might want to check that out. It's really good for personal Bible study as well as a group study. It can really easily be done, and it's a very easy read, so it's not overwhelming at all. But back to the word of the year. The easiest way to figure out a word of the year is to look for themes. So is there a theme of correction? Where is God humbling you or speaking to you? Is there something your spouse has brought to your attention over and over again? Is there a theme that runs through your list of priorities in your affirmation statement? Have you been coming across a word on the radio or in sermons or podcasts, blogs, other media? What do you really need? You could use words like present, victory, compassion, rest, revival, restoration, courageous, new, intention, blessing, smiles, encouragement. What are some of the words that you would choose? We would love to hear. Please respond back to us and email us at But.God@gmail.com. We would love to hear what your word of the year is. So we provided these really helpful worksheets to help you walk through finding a word of the year. And we help you drill it down, get really specific so that you can choose a word with confidence. Again, I will provide all of those at the end. All right. So we want to recap, okay? Every single year, you need to get specific about the roles that you play. So you'd fill out the priority order guide that we will provide for you at the end. Create an affirmation statement. Again, fill out the affirmation statement worksheet. We'll provide a link at the end. Set goals based on priorities. Start saying no to anything that doesn't line up with those priorities. And create a word of the year. So you're going to fill out the word of the year worksheet. Again, we'll provide that at the end. When you set your goals based on priorities, you could use that monthly habit tracker that I showed you way back a couple slides ago, where I list out what my goals are for each hat that I wear in that month. You could use that as well. Every month. Okay. You are going to brain dump everything in your head. I call it a syntax sweep. So essentially, guys, we've gone from every year over here. Now we're breaking it down to every month. So you're going to brain dump everything in your head. Again, I call it a syntax sweep. You're going to ask, okay, is this specific thing on this sheet, is this my responsibility, or am I taking that from someone else? Ask, does this need to be done this particular month? If it's yes, then it goes on the productive mind clutter sheet. If it's no, you put it on the things to panic about in due time. Now, we're going to get to the nitty-gritty, step-by-step instruction of how exactly to do this and create more margin in your life. So margin is essentially the white space on your calendar that allows for stitches or bringing someone a meal or emergencies and unexpected fun things that might pop up. And again, you're never going to be successful at managing your schedule if you haven't prioritized rightly in that last section. That is so crucial, so don't skip that. All right, so let's break this down and see exactly what we're going to be doing. This right here is the syntax sweep, and it's just a good old-fashioned brain dump. It's a blank sheet of paper where you can just dump everything. This is what mine looks like in my calendar. This sheet will also be in the printables. I'll give you a link for this particular sheet as well as the other ones that we're going to go over at the end, okay? So I'm going to just show you what mine looked like for March, and I want to point out a few things for you. Okay, so this is what mine looked like for March, and you're going to see some things that are crossed off. See those things that are crossed off right there? Okay, I've crossed those off because one of those right there is my husband's responsibility, where it says Todd. And then the other one is my daughter's responsibility. So I wrote their names by them. And then next, you'll see these are crossed off, and I wrote a date by it. So I wrote August and April. And since I'm in March, I don't really need to be thinking about those or worrying about those until April or August. So when I determine that something needs to be dealt with on a different month or by somebody else, then I put their name or that month right by it. So that when I start to worry about, let's see, the engaged girls March 17, when I start to worry about that particular meeting that we were going to have, I say, nope, I'm not going to worry about it because my husband is actually planning that meeting. I don't need to actually think about that and worry about that. So it just stops my brain in its tracks. It takes that thought captive and it cuts down on the mind clutter and cuts down on the worry and anxiety. Then when I determine that something needs to be dealt with on a different month, like here, April and August, I put it on my things to panic about in due time sheet. So that's what this is right here. This is my things to panic about in due time sheet. So when something isn't appropriate in my current month, I'll put it here. This is called purposeful procrastination. So at the beginning of every single month, I will check this sheet to see if there's anything pressing that I need to address. So on April 1, I would look here and I would see link my resort to my Disney Experience app and cancel my sister's dining reservation. I know that these are a priority the month of April. And when I start to worry about them in February, March, I say, nope, I have to handle that. And I cannot handle that until April. It won't let me. So I can't, there's no sense in worrying about it now. Just wait till April. Okay. In August, I put health forms for all 3 kids on there because they have appointments that I need to schedule before school starts. And I don't think about these things until I look at this sheet in August and I say, oh yeah, I gotta call the doctor and schedule these appointments and I need to ask the school for those green forms that I've inevitably lost by now. Okay, so once I've purposefully procrastinated and determined my actual responsibilities, I look back at everything that's actually on this list that really needs to be done this month, and I put them on my productive mind clutter sheet that looks like this. So this is my productive mind clutter sheet. Everything that actually needs to be accomplished this month goes on this sheet. And you're gonna see I took the second week of March off. I just vegged that week. Right here, I list all the things that I need to do, like parties and meetings and appointments and courses and tasks. And I separate each task into the week that it needs to be done. Again, if something needs to be done in week 4 and I'm worrying about it in week 1, I stop, I look at the list of things in week 1, and I say, okay, these are the things I actually have to concentrate on because these really have to get done this week. I can't afford to be focused on unnecessary tasks like in week 4. And focus really, guys, that is a struggle for me. So this right here helps me stay focused on the absolute essential. So then every Sunday, I sit down and I look at my week. I first look at the productive mind clutter sheet that we just looked at, and that's right here. And at the time of this recording, I'm going into week 4 in March. So I'm going to finish up the course on lice management that I'm creating for our auction at school. And I see I have a Discovery Toys party coming up and several Norwex parties. Our Disney trip needs my attention, and we have conferences coming up as well. So I'm going to use this right here to plan out my week on my weekly time blocking sheet. Okay. Again, this is another slide from my Becoming a Bible Study Boss course, but I wanted to just show this to you so that I can show you what I do every single Sunday with my favorite beverage and inevitably a piece of chocolate. So I add the dates of the days in the boxes next to M for Monday, T for Tuesday, etc. Then I write in the flags on the left the time that I get up and then every hour after that. And then I start to plug in what my hard and fast responsibilities are. So a given week might actually look like this. Okay? This is called time blocking. You literally create blocks of time necessary for each task. Put in their drive times and setup times, all that, and then add 15 minutes. Okay, that 15-minute addition is how you create margin. Margin doesn't happen easily. It doesn't happen just because you really have to create it. And you create it by adding 15 minutes to your activities to allow for extra conversations, traffic, or any other added annoyance that may come up. So I place on this only the absolute necessary on my first go round of time blocking. These are things that I've committed to in any given week, plus all the hard and fast responsibilities that I have written on my productive mind clutter sheet. I'm primarily working from home, so I fit in my direct sales business and my blog around what is going on, which means my children or in school or resting. Like if they're doing that, then I can kind of plan around those things. So you'll see here, I lead a workout on Wednesdays and I have a running date on Thursdays. My children are in karate on Tuesday nights, church Wednesdays, and kinder music for the youngest on Monday afternoons. So from here, I evaluate the white space. The physical white space on this weekly spread is the margin that I have for when one of my boys needs to have stitches or I need to take someone a meal. If I have several in-home parties in a week, this white space is limited. So I don't really volunteer to take someone a meal that week. I don't even volunteer at school or run errands. And I ask my husband maybe to pick up some groceries on his way home from work. And I put a freezer meal in the crock pot, those kinds of things, if this white space is more limited. So I can look at this, and when anything else comes up, I can see if I have the margin that I need in order to add it in. So my week might shape up to look more like this. Okay, so you can see here I've added Moms in Prayer and coffee with a friend on Mondays, as well as extra workouts outside my home, that kind of thing. The whole idea of time blocking is to adequately and accurately order my week and always be evaluating when something goes on in my weekly spread. Do I have the margin? Do I have enough white space? Does this align with my priorities? Does this align with my affirmation statement? Does this further my goals? If not, it does not get the privilege of taking up my white space. That is reserved for family, self-care, and emergencies. Because remember, whatever you say yes to, you are saying no to something else. So here's a test to see if you have enough margin. If your family came down with lice today, would you be able to keep on rolling, or would it cripple you? How much rearranging would you have to do? Would you have space for laundering and combing and checking? I call this the lice barometer. No one has time for lice. I mean, let's just be real. It's never, ever convenient. But if it would completely derail you, you have a problem. Every few months, just ask yourself and place your schedule next to the lice barometer. Okay, so every single week, we went from every year to every month, now every week. Let's just recap it, okay? Time block based on the productive mind clutter sheet using the weekly time blocking sheet. Be sure to add extra time for your tasks. Be stubborn about leaving the white space white, and evaluate your schedule through the lice barometer. Okay, now we're gonna go look at every day. So look at your time blocking sheet and create your to-do list the night before. That's key. You wanna go over it the night before. You need to get adequate rest. Establish routines so that your brain goes on autopilot and it takes less time to do things. And an easy way to establish routines is to evaluate what you do each morning and evening and time yourself, because you'll be surprised. You're already, I know the word routines kind of freaks people out, but you're already doing them. When you get up, what's the first thing you do? Maybe turn off your alarm, put your slippers on, put a robe on, brush your teeth, whatever. Just go list through everything that you do morning and evening to prepare to face the day and then to prepare to go to bed, and just see what you're already doing, what steps you're already taking on autopilot. So essentially the idea is that if your brain doesn't have to think about each task or the next task or make a decision on something, it will function quicker. It's not going to go into the back recesses of your mind thinking, okay, what steps do I need to take to accomplish this task? What will I need to do with this next task? It's just gonna automatically tell your body what to do. You can literally shave off a little less than a half hour off your morning and evening if you start to implement routines. So you take a few days, you time yourself, and you determine how long it actually takes you to get ready. I outline a very basic way to create routines in Becoming a Bible Study Boss course, but the best person that you're going to want to follow on this is Crystal Payne. She has a course on how to create morning and evening routines, and I highly recommend it. I'll send you a link to her courses. They are super, super helpful. Okay, when you wake up, look over your to-do list one more time and just visualize your day. Mentally walk through and think about how your day should go. Now, rarely do they go the way that we plan, but you can roll with whatever life throws at you if you anticipate the next thing. You can more easily anticipate what's next if you just take a few minutes to think about your day's structure before you dive right in. Do this on your commute, before you get out of bed, whatever. Read your affirmation statement. And then the 15 minutes of pickup rule. I go over this in our Becoming a Bible Study Boss course because I tell you how to add a full hour to your day today in that course. But I outline in there the 3 most effective steps to that. But essentially, what this is, set a timer for 15 minutes and everybody picks up. Simple as that. Okay, so these are some websites that have helped me in the past, right? Claire and Michael are productivity whizzes. And again, I'm going to give you these slides at the end, so don't worry about screenshotting these and trying to type them in and all of that. I will give that to you. So these guys, they've helped me so much. Crystal is also the one that breaks down morning and evening routines for a stressed out mom. Yeah, Learn, Do, Become has a bunch of time management help. And I just came across this free resource from Christine Kane on how to figure out a word of the year. And it's really good. Okay. So these are your bonuses. If you want all these slides, just access them via the link on the screen that I'm going to show you. But you are also going to get this priority order guide, word of the year, worksheets, and then affirmation statement worksheets. And then this is the link to all of that. And you have to type it in specifically, the capitals. You need to type the capitals where they are, all of that. So type that in, bit.ly/mtb printables. And then you are also going to get the entire library of resources that we have to help you combat the crazy, vanquish mommy guilt, shatter shame, and regret nothing. So this is that link, but see that right there underneath that, right here in this little yellowish? That is not all. You're going to get a special coupon code only for my webinar attendees for the cost of less than 2 coffees. You are going to receive over $40 worth of bonuses. Let me just show you. Okay, so your bonuses, you are going to get with that I'm a Time Boss coupon code in our Etsy store, you are going to get the monthly habit tracker, the syntax sweep, the things to panic about in due time, the productive mind clutter sheet. This is time blocking sheets. You're going to get gift idea sheets so that you can tell who you want or what you want and who you told. You're going to get monthly spreads for every month, financial goal tracker, daily to-do list. You're going to get a rotating cleaning schedule. And you're going to see it's worth over $40, and I sell it for $27.99 on my shop. But I'm giving you a $20 coupon code. So you just click that link, bit.ly/timebossplanner, and then enter that coupon code, and you are going to get it for $7.99. So I'm just going to walk you through. So here's, if you go to bit.ly/timebossplanner, this is what's going to come up right here. This is what you're going to see. So you're going to click add to cart, and this will come up. You're going to click that proceed, that green button, proceed to checkout, and this is going to come up. So it's going to ask you if you're signed up with Etsy, this will come up. If you're not signed up for Etsy, this is what will come up. It'll just ask you to create a free account, and then once you click continue to checkout, then this will come up right here. So you see right here where it says add a gift card or coupon code, click that and type in I'm a time boss, all caps, all one word. And then you'll see right there, you've received $20 off. And then it takes $20 off and it's only $7.99. And then you just click submit order and you are done, and it's an instant download. So again, these are the bonuses that you're gonna get. That link right there, bit.ly/MTB printables, will get you that affirmation statement worksheet, word of the year worksheet, priority order guide, slides of this presentation, and our entire library of resources. Then if you click bit.ly/time boss planner and you put in that coupon code, I'm a time boss, you are going to get gift tracker sheet, monthly calendar spreads, financial goal tracker, daily to-do list, rotating cleaning schedule, syntax sweep, monthly habit tracker, things to panic about in due time sheet, productive mind clutter sheet, and the time blocking sheet. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us at butgod@gmail.com and we will happily assist you. Now, go out there and take back your life.